Hi everyone, well today I have a haul slash review of some Makeup Geek items, and they were kind enough to send me these after watching my previous video where I talked about the brushes I had purchased. So I was really excited to try these out and then just share my thoughts with you on the items. So they sent me, let me see here, 3 pigments, and they sent me 6 eyeshadows and 5 brushes. So I have quite the brush collection now from the previous ones that I purchased. Let me just start out with the brushes. I'll definitely link my previous video below, just showing you the brushes that I purchased and my thoughts on them. So the brushes they sent are, and I love that they say the names on them. You don't obviously have to use them for that purpose, but I like that they say that. This is the foundation stippling brush. Looks like that. It's very soft. And what I like about her line, and I think maybe I just realized it not too long ago, is I said before I loved the color. It's kind of that bronzy brown color, has the logo on it. It reminds me a little bit of like Laura Mercier packaging, you know, that really pretty, just sleek, but I love it's like that purpley brown color. I think that's why I'm really attracted to these brushes. Face buffer brush. I have the cheek highlighter brush. And then I have 2 eye brushes. I have the pencil brush, and then I have the Smokey Eye Brush. So let me just start off real quick with the foundation brush. It is extremely soft, so you can see basically just like a lot of the foundation brushes we're using these days, but this one is much softer. So let me just compare it, because this is the one I use most often, to the Sigma. This is the Sigma F80. And I mentioned this before, this is probably my go-to foundation brush. You can see they're pretty similar in size. However, the handle on the Makeup Geek is longer. And I have to say, I would have probably preferred this to be a little bit shorter handle, only because certain times when I'm in the mirror, I will hit the brush to the mirror when I have to be, you know, really up close. But other than that, I really like it. It is definitely softer than the Sigma. They're both about the same as far as like densely packed brush bristles, but this one is definitely softer. I don't know if you can see it moving more when I touch it than this one. Definitely try out this one. It's definitely soft, definitely like it. Just would have preferred a little bit shorter handle on this one. As far as the face buffer brush, you can see the difference there. I would have probably liked this one to be the same as this one. Now this is just my preference. When I mentioned in my go-to brushes for foundation recently, and I'll link that video below, I've kind of preferred recently more of a buffer style brush like this. I will compare it to my Sephora, I'm sorry. This is the Sephora Mineral Powder 45. This is my kind of go-to for foundation anymore. So you can see they are very similar. It's actually a little bit shorter even than the Sephora, but basically the same type of brush. Again, the Sephora is very densely packed, very soft and movable on the top, but not as much down here. This one probably gives a little more, but still very densely packed. I really like this one. Like I said, that's just been my preference recently, is having a more domed, kind of round brush for foundation. So next would be the cheek highlighter brush, and this is great. It does exactly what it says. It's great for cheek highlighter. It's like the perfect size for down your nose or your cheeks. You could also use it for cream blush. It's very soft. You can just see what it looks like here. Very, very soft. Of all the brushes I have, the Makeup Geek brushes, and I have quite a few now, they are probably the softest brushes I've ever owned. Extremely soft, very well made. I do have to say, when I mentioned in my last video, I had questioned, I know when she first came out with brushes, they were by Crown Brush. Well, they definitely let me know when they reformulated them, and with the new package and everything, they are no longer Crown Brush. So I just wanted to say that. So okay, on to the 2 eye brushes. I always love a good pencil brush, but I don't know, I'm picky about them. It can't be too stiff or too hard. You know how some of them are really stiff and they just feel like it scratches the underneath part of your eye, or maybe it's too big. So for instance, just to show you the difference, here is my Crown Precision Detail brush, which is a pencil brush, and here's the Makeup Geek. So you can see this one is so much smaller. So I really actually like this one. And just to compare it to one of my favorites, which is the Essence of Beauty, this is their small crease brush. It's even smaller than that, which I really, really like because I find I can get very precise right in this corner, smudge shadow down, and it's really nice, but it's not too hard, you know, so it doesn't scratch your eye. So I really, really like this one because it is very small. Next for the brush is the Smokey Eye Brush. So it just looks like this, very dense, very rounded, tapered on the top. It looks very similar to the outer V brush that I'd purchased from them. So you can just see the difference there. This is the outer V, this is the smudger. They work very similar, I would say. I do really like this one though. I've been using it in a few different ways. It's extremely, I mean, it gives a little, but it is stiff and dense, but I really like it. I mean, I've been really pleased with all the brushes from them. Like I said, they're just really good quality. And I think for me, just because, you know, I'm big on packaging, I like the way they look. To me, for the price, they look way more expensive. They feel way more expensive than they are. So I think that's cool. Okay, on to the single eyeshadows. So I was sent 6 and I just put them in my Z palette so it was easy for me to like look at them and tell you the names. But they come in a little card like this, basically just how like MAC shadows come. On the back, it tells the ingredients. And then on the inside, they are in a little cover. And you're not going to be able to see it because it's kind of tone on tone, but what I like is there's a little saying inside and then, you know, like basically like a little note from Marlena. So you can see right there. Anyway, I just think that's cute. Again, one of those like really simple but yet attention to detail. I really like that. Again, packaging's very cute, similar to MAC. I'll give you a good look at them. Okay, so this is Vanilla Bean, Shimma Shimma, Creme Brulee, Cocoa Bear, I believe, yes, Mocha, and Corrupt. So, and I'm wearing all but these two today. These two colors are a little bit warm for me, but those of you that love warm shadows will love them because they're very pigmented. They're very pretty. I just need to work with them a little bit more. So today, basically, I have Vanilla Bean just all over. I have the Shimma Shimmer in the inner corner, and then I have the Mocha kind of in the crease. So just kind of real simple. The Shimma Shimma is gonna become one of my favorites, I can tell, because it's very similar to the e.l.f. Pink Eyes, which I rave about, I love. Very similar to MAC Naked Lunch too. I just love those kind of colors. The Mocha is definitely gonna be one that is gonna be a go-to for me. I love a really deep, rich, dark brown. And this Corrupt is probably the blackest shadow I've ever seen. I mean, seriously, I'm just going to touch my finger here. Just pressing, and look at that. Like, I'm not even trying to, you know, make a huge swatch. So there it is, kind of swatched. It is intense. Okay, and there's just some of them swatched. You really can't even hardly tell with that Vanilla Bean because it's very skin tone. You can see the Shimma Shimma, the Cocoa Bear, the Creme Brulee, Corrupt, and then the Mocha. So extremely pigmented. This was only, I mean, this one was insane. It's seriously only like one barely swatch. I got 3 pigments, and they just come in a box like this, loose pigment. These are gonna be a little tricky because I have to say they are very messy. Now, Marlena just did a video recently on how to wear the pigments, which I will link below, so that's great if those of you that are unfamiliar with pigments. For some reason years ago, I almost solely just wore pigments. I just loved them. I was just in that, you know, zone of I love pigments. But she did say in that video they are working on getting stopper or sifters, I think, for these, which I think would totally help because I have to say these are a little bit messy. It's almost like the package is overfilled, so then there's a ton everywhere. So I'm just gonna share with you the colors I have. The first one is Sweet Dreams. And again, I'm gonna try to show you these without making an enormous mess. I mean, you're getting a ton of pigment. See how that is totally full? Well, look what is all in the lid. And that's what I mean by a mess. It's not just in the cap of the lid, which is normal. It's like all over. This is an absolutely beautiful color. I don't know if you can see that sheen there. Just so, so pretty. Really like that one a lot. Next would be Afterglow. And I'm going to link all these products below so you can go straight to the site and see them for yourself. Again, extremely full, and then you have all that in the lid. So that's just the only thing for me. The colors are beautiful. The packaging is a little messy, but you know, it sounds like they're working on that. So there's that one at the top. Both of these are very, very similar. And then my absolute favorite is Utopia. And some of you may have seen this already. It is probably the prettiest pigment I've ever seen. It would be great for like a New Year's look. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. One way that I would use pigments, especially a color like this, is definitely spray it with Fix Plus on your brush so that you get less fallout. This has some major glitter in it though. It's not chunky glitter though by any means. It's very fine, but it does have a glitter. So you can see it here, and I don't want to dump it out. Here's this, and I had to go with a Q-tip around the lid of this one because it was just getting everywhere. But it's almost like a blackened base with like a gold. It's just absolutely stunning. So let me swatch this one for you. Okay, so there's that one at the top. Just absolutely beautiful. I mean, seriously, when you see it in there, it just has such depth of color. I really like that. Okay, so my overall thoughts on the products I have. The eyeshadows, absolutely fantastic, very inexpensive, and by far my favorite probably of the line is the brushes. I mean, I just absolutely love them. I love the look, I love the handle, I love the feel. They're extremely soft, and they're very, very affordable. You cannot go wrong with these brushes. Really, the whole line is extremely affordable. So my favorite would be the brushes, next the eyeshadows. The pigments are gorgeous. They're just a little messy, so that turns me off a little bit with packaging. But like I said, it sounds like they're working on that, so hopefully that will be fixed soon. So I'm gonna put links of everything I mentioned below so you can go check it out for yourself. Let me know what Makeup Geek products you guys have. I know a lot of you have the eyeshadows. I don't hear the brushes mentioned a lot. I definitely think the brushes are the hidden gem in my opinion, but let me know what you guys have, what you're gonna maybe check out. I know from my last video, several of you were gonna check out the brushes that I mentioned in that video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to Makeup Geeks for sending me the great products, and we'll see you next time. Bye.